Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to increase my breast milk supply. One of the most common question we get daily is, how do I increase my breast milk supply? How do I increase my breast milk supply? So this is a very straightforward thing, but the reason why this is always coming up is that we rarely know this before we have our child, that there is even going to be an issue with breast milk supply. You expect your breast to just be able to do the job, and this is something that most first time moms struggle with, and I struggled with it personally. So it felt as if I was failing as a mom. I was failing in just the primary assignment, which is just to provide food for my baby. I felt like a failure with as I was struggling not to produce enough milk. I was struggling. I couldn't produce enough milk for my daughter Zurel then, and I felt like I failed in every angle. And the reason for this was because all I heard was that once baby is born, put baby to the breast. And I got very good education on this, but it just was not working. It just was not working. And I was either going to just give up or find a solution. And I found a solution that worked out for me. And I'm glad this is working out for so many women across the world, thousands of women across the world. So the first thing that I find that is the issue when it comes to milk supply is that the mom is not putting in adequate demand. And this is the case many of the time, that a mom gives birth to her baby, but because of no milk is coming through, so she somehow reduce the frequency at which she's putting baby to the breast. Or a mom is pumping, and because of nothing is showing at the pump, she just somehow stop pumping because nothing is coming, so why continue? But this should be the other way around, meaning that you should be able to pump constantly just to maintain that demand. So when you have your baby, the pregnancy hormone drop down and the breastfeeding hormone kicks up, and they're ready to act based on the demand you're shedding out. The same thing will happen to a body of a woman that even does not even want to breastfeed. Our breasts will release milk because you've been producing milk since your second trimester in that breast. So the breast will release milk, but the breast is at our command. Basically, we need to ask the breast to do what the breast is meant to do. If we don't put that demand, the breast is going to reabsorb the milk that it already produced and will stop producing milk. But if we put the demand, then the breast will release that milk and produce even more. So the breast is really at our own mercy, at our own calling. We need to do the work by commanding the breast to do its job. If we don't do and play our part, the breast would not play its part. And what I find is that many people, because of they are expecting the breast to play all the part, and when the breast is falling short, they too fall short because of they don't have this understanding. So I want you to understand that you are the one in control. You get the breast to play its part by putting in the demand, and the breast will respond by producing milk. In some cases, before a mom is able to get to this stage where the breast is now producing milk, the baby has been getting another milk, and the baby may have been getting it via syringe, via spoon, or via, most of the time, a bottle. And majority of the cases, the volume that is being given is more than what a breastfeeding mother should be able to produce in those early days. So a breastfeeding mom can go from a 0 to a 10 mil within 24 hours, but a baby that is being given milk, or that is being given a different milk in bottle or via anything, might be getting a 10 mil. I had a mom that said she was putting her baby to breast. She pressed her breast, she did not see any milk. And then I think at the night time, the nurses came, they took the baby away and they gave the baby milk. And when her baby came back, her baby was settled and slept. So she watched them do that, and they were giving a 10 mil. And at the moment, before she left the hospital, she bought the formula and she went home and continued, and here she is now, low milk supply, and she wants to do exclusive breastfeeding, which is, if you want to do that, you should know everything beforehand. Otherwise you would be, you more or less have to be like, be in this pathway where you may have to have supplemented and then you're not coming to go back to exclusive. Okay, so first thing, demand. Have your demand in order. Do the work so that your breast will respond. So if your demand is in order now and everything is all set, your baby is eating and you want your baby to be chubby, who does not want a chubby baby? So like, for me, my husband expected and had the belief that all breastfed babies are lean, which in honesty, a breastfed baby can be lean. Not all babies breastfed can be are chubby, but whether a baby is formula fed or whichever way, the baby's size depends on what they eat and also on their genetics. So if somehow the parents were lean, they would end up lean. So for me and my husband, our baby pictures, there's no lean. If anything, it's even my husband that is lean. Hope he doesn't see this. So, but he wanted a chubby looking baby. And what's my theory to that? Is breast milk. As long as I did that with my second child, as long as it's breast milk and you're hungry, you'll be eating it and it will show. I will look at you and I will see that you're growing, you're developing, you're increasing in size, you're increasing in weight, and that is a healthy child. Okay, so that was what I did for my second child, and for my first child, I just increased my milk supply, made sure they had more than enough milk available for them to feed. And that means they can have as much as they want. And I could see, like, by the time I figured it out with Zurel, she was very lean for a good period of time. But by the time I figured out how to increase my supply, I kept giving her, as long as she was willing to accept, I kept giving her the breast milk. And this girl became chubby. I maybe might insert her picture if possible. I'm not very good with YouTube, so just bear with me. So she became a chubby baby. So in my own opinion, many babies have worked with their mom that increased their supply, that made it available, made enough milk available. Their babies ended up being big. So how to, I've mentioned, increase your demand and you can increase your supply so that your baby can get more. And how do you increase your supply? I used the milk booster product. I'm just going to show you guys my new stash. I'm so glad, like, yes, I'm 6 months and I'm still taking them because I'm pumping for Jazil, as well as I'm feeding him, and I just want him to have more than enough as usual. So these are the breastfeeding cookies, and this is the cranberry flavor. You guys are lucky. I have them. I just got the new stash day before yesterday. This is raisin. This is chocolate. This is cranberry white chocolate. And I already opened my coconut. So this is coconut, and these are amazing. Honestly, I cannot speak. I was going to panic by the day I finished my last cookie, and I've not gotten this, but luckily somehow they came the following morning, and obviously I started off with them. Also, we have the granola, we have the cocoa mix, and we have the smoothie mix. These have been a lifesaver for me. This is my second breastfeeding journey. I had zero worries. With my first breastfeeding journey, I struggled a lot. It was stressful, and milk supply was one of the biggest issue. So if you want to increase your milk supply, increase your demand. Make sure your demand is in order, at least 10 to 12 times every day. Make sure you're using products to increase the volume, and output that you're getting. Because these products, the reason I speak highly of them is that it's not just your volume, they actually increase the quality. Because many of us, what we're eating, we're not eating enough. The right fat cells that is needed, some of us are lacking in them. So this is a way for me to make sure I'm getting those constantly in my system. And then make sure your water intake is right. Like yesterday, I wanted to have tea. I heated up the milk, and somehow, I don't know how, I forgot the milk in the microwave. And it was till evening, when I was coming to heat up dinner, that I saw a cup of milk sitting there. So this happens a lot, even with taste. Some of us, we get thirsty, but by the time we just forget about the taste somehow. Talking about that, I need to drink. So sorry. Sometimes, like, I was thirsty a few minutes ago, but I was like, okay, let me finish the video. And most likely I'll finish the video. Maybe Zura will be here, JC will be calling for me, and that is it. So many nursing moms are not drinking enough. Like, they're not even drinking to thirst, which is what we're meant to be using to guide, but they are not, because you're thirsty right now, and then you want to drink, but then you're distracted with your child, and by the time you come back, you've forgotten about the test, and it's till the next time. So being consciously, like, paying attention to your water intake, your fluid intake is important. At least have a 2.5 liter daily. Other things that you can do is to make sure you're not stressing. Like, if you're stressing, make sure that you're backing it up, like your demand is way on intact. Because if you're stressing and it's affecting your demand, your supply will go down. Your supply will definitely go down. And so just make sure you're reducing your stress, and then increasing your demand if you're stressing somehow, and increasing your demand if you're stressing somehow. Other things you can do is pump, increase, like add another session, do a power pumping, do other things that will get your breast to feel okay. There is a need for more. The baby is not getting filled up. Have a lot of skin to skin with your baby. Put your baby on the chest. These are little things that you can do to boost your supply. Even when you can also mimic cluster feeding. Like, let's say your child is going through a growth spot and they're feeding every single time. If you somehow need to increase your supply and you need to do it quickly, this is the right way. Increase your demand, increase it. Like, if you're not doing up to 10 times, increase it 10 times. If you're doing 10 times, increase it to 12 times. Increase it. If your baby is not nursing that frequently and your demand seems like it's not in place, you can start pumping, add some pumping sessions to increase your demand further. And then make sure you're using product. Just do all of these things, simple things. If at any point you've done this, you followed it for 3 good days and you did not see any result, you can always reach out to us. Send us a DM, send us a message. You can find us on Instagram at the milk booster underscore. You can drop a comment. Whatever it is, we're willing to help. And even if you're using the product, whether you're using the product or not using the product, we are always ready to help you. As far as it's breastfeeding related, we are here for you. If you're using the product and you're still facing some challenges, send us a DM. We have experts that are ready to put you through. We are all here to make sure all these babies are optimally breastfed. That is why we're here. And I want to congratulate you again for doing this. You're doing the absolute best for your baby. They would never always be breastfeeding. You know that. They would get past this stage. Zurel is 3 now. She doesn't even remember being at my breast and always trying to breastfeed. She doesn't remember. She tells me, no, breast is for babies. Breast is for babies. Forgetting she was once a baby and that she nursed until she was 2.5 years. But she doesn't believe that. So that brings me to the end of this session. Hope it was helpful. This was just an impromptu thing because I got my new stash and I said I should do this before I start finishing them. And Joel is at the door. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, share with other moms. You have this knowledge, a lot of moms don't. A lot of moms don't. I didn't have this knowledge 4 years ago or three and a half years ago. Many moms come to the DM, they don't have this knowledge. They still don't have this knowledge. They've never heard of anything like this. Share with them, encourage them, send them to us to help them, whichever way. As long as all these babies are breastfed, we are all successful. See you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.